Joining us now is our audience's very favorite guest. He's the executive director for the Foundation for Freedom Online, Mike Benz. So, Mike, how are you spending your Comey Bolton indictment watch time?
Eagerly awaiting. There's a tall task here in a DC jury pool, although I'm looking forward to seeing the response from Antifa, ACAB folks, the all cops are bastards, kill the pigs, as the head of the federal police is about to be indicted. I have a weird feeling Antifa is suddenly going to come out as pro FBI the moment this happens. But there's frankly no more deserving figure in Washington, or at least I would put this in my final four of my NCAA bracket for most criminal swamp creatures out there right now. But James Comey said it himself. We have to enforce perjury laws with an iron fist. And there's no, what was it, extreme recklessness, changing of the standards to wiggle out of this one. He was nailed dead to rights for perjury. All it'll take is a jury who simply sees things clearly rather than the politicized ones we saw during the January 6th trials.
So there is a theory that, well, if you aren't, very certain you're going to get a conviction, you shouldn't even bring the case. I don't even think we're in that chapter of the book anymore. Like, if some DC jury wants to say that Jim Comey's lies aren't Jim Comey's lies, let that be on them. But I think this administration does have an obligation to hold these people to account, and it does look like they're taking it quite seriously. As it relates to the substance of the perjury, doesn't it all go back to the origin and what was going on December 8th, December 9th of 2016, when Barack Obama is assembling this group of people to try to go and construct intelligence to really hamper the Trump presidency?
That's exactly right. And the idea that you could just openly lie to Congress about the completely debunked P dossier, the Steele dossier, not being included in the intelligence assessment. And it takes us finding out in a classified annex that was hidden from us for 9 years. 9 years that annex was hidden from the American people about what Comey and Brennan knew, when they knew it. And so Comey, I think, presumed that that thing would stay classified until the day that the statute of limitations ran out, and that the blob had enough control over the Justice Department that they could slow walk things into a free ticket to Bermuda, that they would essentially be able to just kind of spend their lives on the beach after committing all of these crimes. Well, those who throw stones, should not live in glass houses. And if you're going to arrest the President of the United States, his accountants, his lawyers, even his valet, you better be clean as a whistle. And James Comey is about the dirtiest cop on the block.
Do you think this will have an antiseptic effect going forward on others who want to misuse the criminal process for political purposes?
Absolutely. We saw that in the censorship space as well. The fact is the censorship industry became a growth industry for almost 8 years straight because there was no accountability. And the moment that folks started getting in trouble, the moment that things were scandalized, the moment lawsuits were brought and people had to pay for their own attorneys, the moment that they were cut off from their institutions like the Stanford Internet Observatory, or that CISA faced lawsuits, the State Department faced lawsuits, USAID faced lawsuits, it became a bad business to be in. Even though in that case we didn't see arrests, what we saw was that the money dried up because people could not bet on the sure thing. And people just, I think, assumed that this administration would simply succumb to this, so-called democracy blob who can simply wave a magic wand and say it's authoritarian to arrest your political opponents, while they arrested dozens, 19 of their political opponents in a single case alone, by the way, for the alternate electors one, the same scheme they cooked up in 2020 and openly tried in the 2016 election. But if they want to set these as the rules of the road for what democratic norms and accountability looks like, well, welcome to your own party. You started it, we'll finish it.
We cannot leave this segment without giving John Bolton a little treatment, because he would also fill out that final four of really bad swamp creatures. Bolton has hired Hunter Biden's lawyer, Abby Lowell. Abby Lowell has made statements that all of the classified documents that Bolton possessed had been declassified. They were old. What are you watching for in the Bolton indictment watch?
I'm watching that for people being put through the process. I remember with crystal clarity what it was like when Robert Hur found that President Biden had possessed classified documents at a really difficult political moment for them because President Trump was under indictment, had been arrested, had to spend millions of dollars being put through the process of the classified evidence case. And then it turned out, oopsie poopsie, the president, Joe Biden, his own in charge of that own Justice Department in the chain of command, effectively, was guilty of the same crime. The same crime alleged, and I'm not even saying Trump was guilty, but what the special prosecutor found was that he had committed mishandling of classified evidence, but then he put at the addendum at the end of that memo that they should not bring prosecution because a DC jury pool would look at this genteel, senile president, and it would be unlikely they would convict someone so late in life to spend the rest of his days in prison. And so Joe Biden did not have to have a mugshot. Joe Biden did not have to spend millions of dollars on lawyers. Joe Biden did not have to say, oh, he was an indicted president. Let the process of the accountability be an example to others that even if you get your little preferred DC jury pool, you will be put through this process and there will be pain in the process of committing crimes, whether you get away with them or not.
Pain is coming, and I think the statute of limitations looms large here. It's why we're hearing about Comey and Bolton now, but I think you're going to be able to fill out the rest of your final four with like a Brennan, a Clapper. I don't know that the indictments are too far behind for those folks, just a different structure on the statute of limitations. Mike Benz, Executive Director for the Foundation for Freedom Online. As soon as these indictments hit, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to the Mike Benz stream because I know that's where I'll get all the information. Thanks for joining, my friend.
Thanks, Matt.